Well, hello guys, welcome again to another live stream, and today we are back at Dublin, where we left off yesterday, stand 125, and we're on our way down to Luton, as I said in the description, for a relatively shorter runway, so we should have coverage for the whole of Essex radar, and Luton and Stansted Towers are on. Stansted's, the Ryanair hub, but why don't we head to Luton, somewhere we don't go very often, because there's not a huge number of routes from there, I don't think. And the runway's a little bit shorter. Just have a look at the charts and see how short. And I say a little bit shorter, but of course it's shorter and there is a backtrack required. So 7,000 feet. Although from Alpha 1 it's only 5,800 feet. So, and there's the pretty spectacular slope as well. There's a definite hump on that runway. Anyway, that's where we're off to. We have got some coverage here at Dublin. I'm just looking on the map to see what we've got. And I think all of the Londons are online. So, looks like we should have coverage all the way. Gatwick's open, London City, Heathrow, Elstree, Luton, Stansted, somebody's online at Cambridge. So, Manchester's online as well, which is our alternate. Newcastle, Newcastle, been there for a while. Excuse me, Glasgow and Edinburgh, so two sets of Scottish, pretty busy night on VATSIM. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop into our jet. I don't know what this Kobu Pacific is doing. Looks a little bit far from home. I think I've got OBS sorted out. It turns out that using X-Organizer to set X-Plane off didn't trigger the game capture, but I'll remember not to do that in future. And I've got one new subscriber, so thank you to Jason Bell for subscribing. I hope I help you out. So without further ado, let's hop into the jet, and we've got about 18 minutes to get ready before our scheduled off blocks time. And yeah, let's hop in. Completely cold and dark, so as always, it's not the full cold and dark startup, so it will certainly get you going though. So battery goes on. As the exit lights come on, we've got the position and strobes set to steady. We get some AC power, which is on and nicely reliable. Get the IRSs aligning, see how long they'll take. So that test should go off. I did roll that round to the right. That's interesting. Little bit of bulkage up here. There we go. Pop the oil damper on. Can check the crossfeed valve, open bright, dim and close, bright. Off, all the pumps are off. Our power's on, cabin utility. Belts and chimes are off because we're going to fuel up. Igniters right, diff pressure 0. Hydraulic pumps can come on. Test the window heats and pop them on. They can come on. Set the cabin as we like, put packs on. In reality, with some conditioned air, that would start warming the cabin up. Is it really only 10 degrees? I haven't had a look at the weather in Dublin. It's certainly about 20 something, and a bit muggy in England. So if that's the case, then that cold front might be a little bit early. So 350 is our cruise. And Luton is pretty high, about 600 feet I think. Yeah, so 550. That's the initial overhead done. Got an odd number set on the altitude to remind us we haven't got our departure clearance. Brake test, disarm. Systems hydraulic pressure we've got Set the radios up and all lights are on. And there we go. Set our payload. So we have 131 packs. And cargo wise, let's put, to be honest, try putting it all in the front. 1, 6, 7, 8. That brings it very far forward, so let's put 1, 6, 7, 8 back. That gets us to 22, so we could reduce this down. 2, 7, 8 in the front. Alright, that's going to do. I was sort of aiming for 21 inch, but that'll do. So that's set up, we just need to call for some fuel. So we have got on board 229 kilos. We're going to request. We've got 15 additional reserves, so I'm happy to request 5.6 and see what we get. Cool. There is the truck. Let's get our flight leg started. It's fueling, and let's jump in. So nav data is correct. May 21st, nice and fresh. Red Echo India Delta Whiskey. Stand 125. This can be double checked outside. GPS left can go into the IRS coord required. Now off to Echo Golf Golf Whiskey Luton, Rhino 7 Delta X-ray. And routing wise, let's see, it's not particularly difficult to type in, so why don't we do that? We're going to go LIFFY. It's definitely not the southern hemisphere. 36 to slow. Going Zulu 197 to LISTO, and then we've got the ASCII 5 Foxtrot. Now I'll take a look on the OFP for NOTAMs, because ASCII is only used if I think it's if Bovington, no, when Brookman's Park is unserviceable. To be used when Brookman's Park VR or DME unserviceable. So if it isn't, then SimBrief has generated that incorrectly. So we'll see. Anyway, LIFFY Quebec 36, NOSLO's 197 LISTO. Otherwise, it'll be Laurel 5 Foxtrot. They are all the same. They're all the same waypoints. It's referred to. They're just defined by different nav aids depending on which one's which. Anyway, we can activate that route. Check the zero fuel, which is within 100 kilos, 55.2, 55.1, happy with that. Our planned fuel, trip and taxi 2465, let's call it 2.5. 5.5, 5.6, bingo, so we should almost have. That looks like the final fuel that we're going to get, 2810 in each. So we've got 5620, we needed 5619, so bang on. Hello Entity, good to see you again. The busy down the forums. Reserves 2.4, we'll round up 2.5, 2.6. Cost index is 6. I think Ryanair do 30 if there's delays, not that it makes a difference. So cruise we said was going to be 350. Top of climb wind 263. 77. Latest deviation +1. Execute. Do the takeoff performance in a moment. Let's just get the gross error 250. 7. I think that is because it is that bit a longer arrival from the OFP, and we haven't got the departure in. Although the departure is not going to add a huge amount, but we will certainly within the realm of possibility. There's massive error there. So fueled, and who have we got on? So ATIS 124525.
Advise on initial contact. You have information, Bravo. This is information, Bravo. At time 1800, expect ILS approach runway 10 in use. Transmission level 60. Wind 140 degrees, 11 knots, variable between 100 and 170 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers, clouds. View clouds at 2500 feet. Temperature 12. 2.9 QNH 1014. No significant change. Advise on initial.
Happy. So 1014 we can set. Zero. So who have we got online? We have got Dublin Tower 186. There we go. Hello Stefan, good to see you.
Alright, hold short Sharon 6, runway 10.
Dublin Tower, good evening, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, hello again, very good evening.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray 737-800, stand 125. Information Bravo, QNH 1014. Request departure clearance to Luton, please.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, clear to Luton. LIFFY 2 Echo departure, runway 10, squawk 6630. Departure frequency, video to come.
It's Luton, LIFFY 2 Echo, runway 10, squawk 6630, and departure frequency Unicorn 122.8, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, read back correct, call to push start.
Okay, thanks, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. So let's pop that in. 6630. Oh, wrong window. What I will do is put takeoff data in first. So 40 at 11. The departure briefing chart 10-1 Papa 5. Noise abatement procedures is NADAP 2. So thrust reduction is at 1500 and then acceleration is at 3000. That is on the charts, you can find that. And we can pop the runway and go the departure in. Know that. Pop that in, double check it. And we know for all the Dublin departures, the initial climbs at 0, which we have been cleared to. Runway is off the airport chart 098. Set up for the departure in a minute. So we're looking closer. 249, still a little bit short, but that's because of the arrival into Luton. like I said, the crews will go through the NOTAMs and have a look and see if SimBrief has given us an accurate arrival. I suppose if they were going to do any maintenance on the VORs, now would be a good time. So, performance. Let's get. Happy with those figures because we probably are going to burn 15 minutes of fuel getting to the runway. So, planned takeoff weight of 60. On the OFP it's 60.1, but it's 60. Oh, we're talking 60.6. 60.6 is what it is estimated. So, oh, the wind has just changed to 120 and 9. So that might update, and I don't know if you noticed, look, that's just dropped down there, so let's update that. When here, the wind now 120, 9, and then calculate our performance. So our takeoff limit is 22k, assumed temperature is 39. So flap 5 departure. Also it's a dry runway. And 22k.
31 Papa Romeo from Gear 6, runway 10, clear for takeoff, destination wind 140 degrees, 11 knots, have a nice flight, bye-bye. Clear for takeoff, runway 10, for destination signal Papa Romeo, and thanks, effective service. No problem at all, and thanks for flying out, bye-bye.
Having a look at the takeoff minimums for Dublin. Runway 10 from Sierra 6, 2156. So we could technically use that as well. So if I put in entry point Tora 2156, be interesting to see if it changes anything. 2148 and 8, that brings it down to 36. That gives us a stop margin of 8 meters. So we will pop that in for departure for Sierra 6, and then we'll just have an increased margin if we do end up going right down to the end. Minimum flap on that departure is 1300.
All stations, Dublin 2 is back in 5 minutes. I don't remain on frequency, but if you're calling and I don't answer, just give me a text.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see the seatbelts lines.
So for that calculation, flap 5, takeoff run 2148, stop margin of 8, and that is from Sierra 6. 22k plus 36. And V speeds for that 22k 36. Flap 5, 5.5. .35, 136, 140. It's close enough, they're all within 1 knot. My RSs have warmed up, so flight director, master my side, both on. And I don't think there's anything else we need from FP. So let's get the APU started. Start getting the airplane secure. We'll don't think it's ever safe to assume. So
Ground to
let's just
cockpit,
connect
tow is driving
first.
up.
And then I'll get the chart up and we can step through the departure. I won't bother bringing up the airport taxi charts. Bring up to Echo. So as you can see, there you go. Initial climb 90, and then 0 set. 099, 096. So, APU on, lead on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed.
Connect up.
Ready to connect.
So, we need Collinstown to left, 49 on the right. And that's it, those are the only nav aids we need. Dublin gives us our MSAs, and it gives us LIFFY, 29 DME. And this is a flyover, not a flyby point, a flyover point, 3000, which is it, and then LIFFY at whatever we're at. So pretty simple departure. It's direct to Delta Whiskey 551 flyover and then direct to LIFFY. Pretty simple. Obviously, no departure frequency, still nothing, no. So that will be Yukon. So that is us to go. Again, you see the VORs there. Do line up. So I'm going to assume no. Check. There you go, that looks like we are connected and ready to go. Kevin, thanks for joining. Just in time to see us go. So, better pushback we need up here. Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray standard 125 request push and start.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray push and start approved, face west, QNH 1013.
Push and start approved, face west QNH 1013, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. So, we have been cleared to push. Get rid of that. Okay. Those on. Get the cabin secure.
Should be pushing back the aircraft in a few moments to make sure PCM outside securely fastened. If you're still using your phone, we would appreciate if you slowly make sure to switch that. We will be taking a fantastic aircraft on a short journey. Yours will meant before the departure would appreciate your full attention as the safety is parallel here. Thank you guys.
Go secure cabin.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Going to face west. Tugger release. Bravo is a beam. It's a bit like that. So what we're not going to get is... So we get something like that. Okay, alright, maybe it wasn't going to be quite like that. Should have been a little bit further forward. But the tug release point is going to be marked on the tarmac and it's going to be something like that. So let's do that.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
So it is 1853. Brakes off.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
We have got 5610 kilos of fuel. We're not going to push, we're not going to start straight away, just conserve a little bit of fuel. Realistic Ryanair operations. Stingy on the fuel. Pretty quiet Dublin. Pretty aggressive turn there. So let's get pumps on. Get the packs off. start engine number 2. So start switch to ground. Again, map to hardware. So I can do it without having to look up. N2 is rising, looking for the oil pressure, which is registering. And then 25% or max motoring goes on. There it is, fuel flow increases. And again, I've got that mapped to hardware as well.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
So brake set, just as we're disconnecting, is about the right time.
Disconnecting tow.
Engine
Stand
2 to
by.
be stable. The most efficient. Hang on a minute, we just. Oh no, we're moving down. Yeah, for the most efficient startup. So let's start engine number 1. There's the oil pressure. 25% fuel on. I'm not sure if hot start's a model. I have got failures off. I might think about
Nose
starting.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. Well, see you next time and have a safe flight.
You can see the EGT on start is low. And it will bump up, you see it going up to the top there. That starter cut out, 2 stable engines, 2, 4, 6 and 3 on each. Do that in a minute, as we'll wait and see the pin.
Dublin Tower, good evening, Fox Charlie Yankee, Papa Juliet, will you establish
Thanks,
on
baggage
IC
guy.
10,
I can see the pin before taxi flow.
Yankee, Papa Juliet, very good evening, runway 10, clear to land, surface wind 120 degrees, 09 knots. Clear to land, runway 10, Fox Charlie Yankee, Papa Juliet.
So flap 5. We have trim set, flight controls, full forward, full aft, full left, full right, left rudder, right rudder. Trim we checked, recalls checked, taxi checklist. So do the flow, do the check. Generators both on, no lights. APU is off. See, that statement is as required. We want it off. Start switch is continuous. Anti-ice not required. Heats are on. Air conditioning. So cruiser set. Pax auto. Leads on. Isolation valve auto. Flaps 5 required. 5 set. Green light. Stab trim 5.5. 5.5. Start levers both on. Flight controls checked, recalls checked, so we are being driven through and ready to go. MXG, nice to see you. This is not freeware, this is firstly welcome, but this is Aerosoft. I think I got it because I had hoped they would have updated the taxiways. They had not, so the standard one is probably going to be better when it comes to taxiway numbering. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, request taxi.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, taxi straight ahead, link 5, Papa 1, clear to cross, 1634, Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, Sierra 7, hold short, runway 10.
Link 5, Papa 1, cross 1634, Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, Sierra 7, hold short, runway 10, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. So we have been cleared, lights can come on. We are not clear to the left, we are not clear to the right, but we're going to pretend that we are. Brakes off. Configs checked. Straight ahead, link 5. We can take a Sierra 6 departure. But yeah, so whilst the taxiways here are rubbish in this scenery and need updating, as you can see, everything else is really rather good. All the buildings are good. They're much better than the default stuff. And you've got ground marshallers, although they weren't working last time. You've got stand numbers are a bit better. So that was the reason that I went, well, like I say, it was to get it a little bit more realistic because the buildings weren't great, but it was a shame that the taxiways weren't there. So until they update it, I wouldn't recommend you buy it unless you're happy with that. I might have got it in a sale, I don't know. But seeing as we end up in Dublin quite a bit, I thought it was worth getting some potentially better scenery. Anyway, there is nobody else around, so second left, to map 1 to cross. We have been clear cross.
Vacate left stand Sierra 2, Whiskey 1, hold short 1634. Continue taxi, Fox Chariot qui Papa Juliet.
Interesting readback.
Hotel 2 on short,
Other
runway 3.
add-ons, there's a few there. There's 1 or 2 that aren't listed.
Approaching 3-4.
But yeah, you can just have a look at those. So a couple are required.
Roger, that's okay. Are you passengers or are you cargo? Passenger. Roger, okay. Continue taxi, cross runway 1634, Hotel 1, Link 4, right turn onto Apron Taxiway 4, at stand 313.
Okay, as you can see, these are incorrect. These are the whiskies.
Crossing runway 34, continue Hotel 1, and taxi to get 313, Volkswagen Global Juliet. Yankee Papa Juliet, that is correct.
Excellent. So yeah, there's a few there you need. Well, you don't need, but well, you do sort of need terrain radar, better pushback, AviTab. Good, and then I've got a lot of Ortho. I've got ex-Europe, and pretty clean installation. Other than that, we've got head shake. Just it's amazing what you get used to. Head shake, I think, is really good for sort of giving you that clue that you've touched down.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. When you're ready, I have a new departure frequency for you.
Oh, Roger, ready to copy Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Roger, 7 Delta X-ray. Once you depart, contact Dublin approach on 121.1.
Dublin approach 121.1. Thanks, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. It's easy to have tuned now. So yeah, sorry that doesn't quite answer the question. Maybe I should put the add-ons. Trouble is, trying to keep up to date with add-ons is a bit of grief. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll put it in the description and try and remember to keep it updated. One thing I do have that's a really useful tool is X-Organizer for managing all the scenery. So I think it's only about $12 or €12 usually. Don't know if I got it at full price or if there was a sale on, but it's well worth it if you've got lots of scenery to manage. Anyway, we've got the departure. We might tell them we can take Sierra 6. Try LNAV and VNAV.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. More good news here if you wish. Sierra 6 is yours.
We will accept Sierra 6, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, thanks.
Roger, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray proceeds there. Sierra 6 hold short from 10.
Sierra 6 hold short 10, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. Hang on, did we miss it? Or am I being dense? No, it is down there. So that's one of the things that makes it difficult. Yeah, Dublin's very quiet. It's difficult to sort of tell how far down you are, and Sierra 6 is going to be the second on the left down here. And I thought we might have missed it there, but we hadn't. Anyway, let's get the cabin secure.
cleared. Have a good flight.
A little bit of wind, as you can see me drifting off there.
On a get for frequency function evaluate. Roger, Foxtrot, Juliet, thanks for flying in and we'll talk to you again. Thank you for your service, goodbye, good night. It is, bye-bye. Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, runway 10, clear for takeoff, surface wind 1203, 09 knots, have a nice flight, bye-bye.
Clear takeoff, runway 10, thanks very much for the service, have a great night, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
You too.
So, lights, camera, 41, 141, trim 5.5, 5.5, recourse checked, cabin is secure, and we have been clear takeoff. We're going to
Approaching 10.
use as much as we can, because we've got pretty low stop margin. Do a rolling takeoff, and I'll answer the question on departure. So it's going to be about 1907. You're going to take off with 5-4.
On
70.
runway 10.
Let's get the airplane lined up. 40%, correct runway, correct heading. 40% we have power, toga, time, forward pressure on the controls, keeping the rudder, using the rudder to keep the airplane straight. May need quite a lot of rudder initially.
80 knots.
Reduce the pressure on the control cords back to neutral. And still on the throttle at this point, wait for V1 and off the throttle.
V1, rotate.
So about 3 degrees a second to 10.
Positive rate.
Gear up and onto the flight directors.
$400.
Null nav. And let's activate Command A. There we go, look, aeroplane's not diving towards
1,000.
like others have reported. Seems going though. There's the thrust reduction. And passing 2000, switch to approach. We'll approach, good evening, Ryanair 7 at Delta X-ray, LIFFY 2 Echo, passing altitude 2600, climbing flight level 90.
Clear 7 back to Dublin approach and all identified on departure incline, flight level 230, proceed direct route up.
At flight level 230, direct route out, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. Get that right, climbed, set, aeroplane should now be accelerating. Rulav. There is the aeroplane and the trend vector. That trend vector should be in 10 seconds. Seen that long though. Anyway, above V2 and accelerating, flap 1. A bit late doing that, so as we pass flap 1, select flap up. So passing flap up speed, flaps up, no lights, brake off, gear up and off. Start switches can go to auto. 1P cabin crew released, 4 pumps, aeroplane is pressurising. And there we are, direct nav. See that variable wind in active sky does, well, active sky generates the variable wind, but I think, explain, generates the sort of turbulence to go with it. So I'm happy that it's not the mod that's hunting that pitch, but it's just the wind over here that's causing it being variable. So Avitab has it got us announced?
Proceed direct echo, descend altitude 5,000, secure range 1013.
AviTab doesn't have its own announcements, but the mod does, so AviTab just displays them. I'm not quite sure. AviTab is that bit there that brings up this bit, which is the detachable bit. The rest of the EFB is for the mod. So if you don't have AviTab, then this bit here, excuse me, this bit here won't work, but the rest of the mod should, I think. So, I think London next. LIFFY is the FIR boundary. So approaching flight level 100 or 10,000 feet. Aeroplane has bugged to accelerate. Lights can come off, so roll on. Cabin is climbing, aeroplane is pressurizing, cruise is set. Excellent. Checked, it is not bumpy, so let the punters out. There we are now. Yeah, the tablet, so in here, depending on the livery in settings, audio features, no it isn't there, is it? It's under PA settings. You can find sets of announcements and stuff. So below 10 degrees, let's get the NTIS on. See, LISTO is only over here, so have a look at the OFP before we do anything else. And let's see if we come on and have a look through NOTAMs. Dublin. Oh God. Lots and lots of NOTAMs. So Farnborough, end up going through those clouds, so we'll get the anti-ice on. Wind farm. You can imagine I don't print pages of this. Load logs. Just looking to see if any of the VORs are out of service. It's interesting. Where are we going? No, Nav's not playing. See how easy it is to get distracted. Now, was that taking us towards... Yeah, I think that was taking us towards LIFFY, even though we'd gone direct. Okay, maybe not, I'll shut up. London 133.7, thanks for the service, have a great night, runners, Delta X-ray. So, get the anti-ice off. So 1018 was the actual. Get that set. Passing 200. 6.5. Climbing. Cabin's about 3 pumps on. There we go, that's picked up again.
Thousand to go.
And a good evening, Run S7 Delta X-ray passing flight level 222, climbing flight level 230, ABGEP. Flight level 350, Laurel 5 Foxtrot, Run S7 Delta X-ray.
1,000 to go. Three five. And Laurel 5 Foxtrot, so let's get that plumbed in. Laurel 5 Foxtrot, we're not going to put the runway in yet because we don't know what runway it is going to be. So we are inbound to LISTO. Nav aids wise, it's just going to be Barclay, Brooklands Park. LISTO, Edig, Rugby with an estimated 150 Clippy. Clippy, we don't use Finbo, we go Bow, Barkway, to Buster and Laurel. So 11625. I suppose we could use the Manchester VOR outbound. 75. 355. So Barkway is going to be 091 inbound. So descent forecast 0, 200, 100. It's a bad day when ATC say oh boy.
So there we are, picking up Parkway.
Ryanair, 633, landing Dublin, descent level 200. Yeah, sorry about that. Look, I think the team's trying to read back down to 200, so that's speed. Ryanair 15, Mike, below 3 Bravo, Rebel. Below 3 Bravo, Rebel, 4 Ryanair, choice, investing request, sound broker. Check 25 Tango, resurrect to a Rambo, Lambo. Correct, hashtag 25 Tango, thank you. Fox right, 250. So you need 548 flight control, hello, this is level 160, landing runway 09.
We go 300, bank angle to 10. Last 10 check, pumps on. 76, still pressurising. Set to once, twice, 3 times. So we just need to know what runway we're going to be using. See, LISTO is here. We're going to be intercepting. So we'll just set the NDB up. Left about 188. And then we just need to figure out what runway we're using. We're expecting 07. So we're going to probably get vectored downwind. But the procedure is inbound, out, and down. So let's see, can we pick up latest 120575?
1,000 to go.
Sliding 303 degrees, decide 5,000 feet, and what's the KDH, sorry? You're at H1016. 1016. Can expect you take a line to the number 62 to the next point. Or is the indicator?
Notepad, mate. Interesting artifact still, just. A tile. What was the immersion bit? Uh-oh. Oh no. I thought we'd got rid of these. Oh, device loss error. Disaster. Oh, great fun. Let's see if we can log the position. And I don't think I was running aftermath, so past this because we did some good sectors. So we had whatever payload we had. Just about 350, 10 miles from England. glad we've got 2 tons in the left tank, 2010 in the right. 3 died. Is there anything else that I need to record if I want to try and intercept this? Maybe I don't. Interesting. So, I don't think... So the system message comes up, please submit the auto crash form. I'm not sure that it will come up. And it's a little bit frustrating, so it's a good thing I haven't got into Concorde yet. It's might be a whole different bit of pain after a 3-hour flight. Anyway, sorry about that guys. I had just assumed that Laminar had got the device loss errors sorted. Pretty light on plugins to be honest. So it's definitely a GPU issue. I haven't checked for updates for a while, so if there's anything from the graphics driver side of things, aside from that, game over. And it's not even going to come up with a full. Anyway, that's a shame. And with that in mind, there's already a huge amount of point. We're inbound airclad, weren't we? Airclad, LISTO. Okay, so I can see where we are. Could do a departure from Manchester and get back in there, but if it's going to dump, what will we in about 20-25 minutes there? If it's going to dump that, I'm not quite sure it's worth it, which is a real shame because we've had a couple of good trips. Those on, so nothing's changed there. Don't know, I'm out of ideas. Sorry guys. And it's definitely hardware related. Oh, no such thing as a horrible landing. Well, okay. Video it and see what you get. Sorry the screen's blank, there's not really a lot to show. Desktop, there you go. It's just a little bit of a mess because I haven't got around to tidying it up in case I was going to do another install. Yeah, like I say, I'm out of ideas when it comes to graphics drivers. Oh, if Zibo tells you it's bad, then it probably is. He was overly generous yesterday. You can see here system information. I've got 44587. It's nothing to do with the overclock because I haven't put the overclock back on. So I thought that might have been one of the potential causes. So yeah, I'm at a loss really. Shame, I was enjoying getting back into flying again. But what I don't want to do is waste your time and mine trying to fly the jet when you know, you wouldn't mind if it was after an hour and a half it was guaranteed to die. But it isn't. What could we try? 44587. So the drivers haven't been updated. So they're a month old. They normally come out sort of monthly. I'll keep my eye on for that. But what I'm going to have to do is start running Aftermath again. So, could dive into Manchester, go to Luton, and get back in. It's 8:30 now, I'm not sure I can be fussed, sorry guys. Oh yeah, right, so the new video thumbnail, every now and then if VATSIM do, if they do, that was just from the VATSIM event page, let me just bring that up. If they put one of those up, then I will shamelessly plagiarize it. I will pinch it. And there we go, that was, this was the page that they had. So that was just the one, I just pinched it. And I hope they don't mind. Yeah, all I did was pinch that, give it a little bit of a crop so it fits, and just to give them a bit of advertising as well. 44587, well maybe it is. Well, you've been alright, I haven't. It's just irritating to not be able to narrow it down. If there was anything that I thought I could do, I would. But it even happens So it happens more frequently with Concord for some reason. Maybe that loads the GPU up. Maybe it's a video memory paging error, because it happens quicker in Concord, but it will still do it even without Ortho. So it's not even as if we can just fly without Ortho. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I hope the setup was useful. Would have been nice to get into Luton tonight, but just can't. I don't mind jumping back in if it's you know, like scenery related or something. But there's no guarantee that if we jump in at Manchester, do a quick and dirty climb back into where we were, and then crack on, that it won't die on the way into Luton, which would be even more frustrating. Like when we were on final approach after those spectacular holds into Amsterdam. It's even more frustrating when it dies at 5 miles. So I am going to figure out if I can set it up so that it will auto run with Aftermath, or if I've got to do it via the command line every time, which I don't mind doing. Just need to get into the habit of doing it. Because I don't know if I can just pop. I don't think I can just pop it in there. I'm not sure if it works if you run it with that. Anyway, I'll figure that out, and I just apologise in advance for said frustration. All I can do is report it. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your patience. Sorry for the computer crash, and I'll do some digging around with Laminar. So Entity, I'm glad you had some luck. I haven't. So I'm going to just keep trying to fight the good fight. But for now, this flight is over. And I hope I do manage to get something sorted before the weekend, because that's 4 days. Yeah, it's irritating that it just doesn't show up, so I can only think it's got to do with memory textures. You know, turn everything down. Maybe I can get something to monitor the graphics usage. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for joining, and I'll keep my eye out for good events, and I'm going to see what I can do to try and solve it if I can. So until then, till next time, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Take care. Have yourselves good evenings, and look forward to seeing you again soon for a crash-free flight. Take care, and bye-bye for now.